Hello, hello. Good evening. I'm going to brighten this up a little bit. Oops. How is everybody this evening? Well, you might be watching this later. Okay. So I'm going to sew up these little peekaboo beauty bags. I think she called it peekaboo because, well, that's, let me fix the coloring a little bit. Oh, can't change the settings. Okay. That's better. Peekaboo, because originally she had made some that were clear here and jelly here. Otherwise, I don't know why it would be peekaboo. Maybe just because you get to see the clear fabric. Anyway, I have several cut out. So I'm going to make this one first. There's this dragonfly vinyl with sparklies. I like sparklies. Zipper pull or zipper tape, and this cute little dragonfly pull. And then we have, let's get all this up here. Name tag, and the inside is the Polytech Smoothie Smooth from Tulipy. This one, I believe, is from Mormino. I don't know the color. And this is something I had printed up. So that's what we're doing. I'm just going to let somebody know that I'm live. Okay. So we have one heck of a rainstorm going on and a little bit of thunder and lightning, so I'm hoping we keep our electricity. Ooh. It's better. This is such a simple bag. It's and it turns out so pretty. So first we're going to put this pull on. Melt our edges of the zipper. I don't know if I test these out. Usually they're fine. I do have new mics. I just haven't figured out how to hook them up yet. And I needed to sew up some of these. So here we are. Well, it is raining hard. This doesn't want to go on. I I got it. It's a little stiff, but it works. These little tabs are just going to get folded over here and sewn on. Little trick to, I didn't come up with this trick. Brittany at Emporium, I saw her put a clip on either side of where this zipper tape is going to go, because it's just folded over. Raw edge material only works here. Then you can slide it on. Easy peasy. Same thing over here. That here. So the beauty bag I made last night, when I went to attach this here, as I sewed along, one of them was bunching up a little bit. So by the time I got to the bottom, I had this big old space here. So I had to undo that. And then I used some double-sided tape, and takes longer, but then it stays in place. I don't have to worry about it moving. I'm not going to do that right off the bat this time, because that's a lot of extra work when it could be just fine. And there's no point in pulling that off because I don't need it yet. So I'm just going to start clipping these and sew them into it. Very good. They don't slip, so that's great. When these are cut mirrored. Stay up. So you have to make sure you're putting the right one on the side. And I don't think these dragonflies are directional, but either way. These are awesome gifts for a quick make. Cut on. Honestly, I think my presser foot sometimes is a little too heavy on top. So it pulls the top through a little harder than the bottom. Just clip off these extra. I'm going to try sewing from the opposite side. See what happens. Sorry if I'm not speaking up. It's more important that they line up on the top, so the bottom can be fudged a little bit. Worked out okay. Okay. Just got a little tiny bit of the front that's past that, and I'm going to cut that off. So I'm going to use the middle piece as my base for the hole to make that one right. Okay, I have the same thing over here. So this one probably could have taken advantage of taping also. If I wasn't live, I might do that. Okay, now we're going to top stitch these open, but I think my bomben's getting low. Don't like to be stuck in the middle of a top stitch without any thread. I'm good for a little bit longer. All right, I can't find it. Here it is. Top stitch usually a little bit bigger. And more top stitches. I'm pushing this away and keeping the underside to the outside. But I believe you can do it either way. This is just how I'm going to do it. Okay, now we've got a front and back. Mark the centers of both tops. The bottoms, if you can't tell, these are for the corner, the bottom of the beauty bag. We're gonna box those corners. Then I get to pick one of these to be the front of the bag so I can put my label on it. They pretty much look the same. So there's no set place to put your label. If you have labels, you don't have to have a label. But I'm going to put mine 2 inches down because that's, I have figured out that works for me. And yeah, I can't do this without glasses. So these are a little trickier than just taping them on and sewing. You have to figure out with your label where to mark things so it will sit where you want it to. So I have to, oops, forgot one thing. Mark the center here. This is vinyl, so I don't have to put anything on the back for stabilization, but I just feel weird if I don't put something back there. So that fits over it. I'll just use this little bit. Poke out my holes. Pull up my prongs. Make sure it's going the right direction. Don't want an upside down tag. That wouldn't be a laughing matter. Make sure it's straight. Looks good. And I just have a little piece of, usually, a piece of foam. Seems to have run off. So I can set this on the desk and press hard. Down. Okay, those are down pretty good. Then a little bit of duct tape so that these prongs don't dig into whatever fabric is against them. Okay. All done. And it's straight. Okay. Next. Okay, so I need to mark the middle centers of my zipper tape on both sides. This. Now you never want to cut into your zipper tape without singeing it some way. So I have this little burner that melts it as it cuts it. I think it needs new batteries because it seems to be it's not going very far, which is perfect, but I'm worried at some point it's going to die. Okay, so some people can do this without taping, but this smooth poly, bonded poly, it's amazing in a bag, but I have found that it slips a lot while you're sewing. So I have found I just like to use tape. So I'm going to tape both sides of the top of the zipper and both sides of the bottom of the zipper. And this is my basting stitch basically. Once I put this on, I don't have to baste. I just then sandwich everything together and sew it. The real reason I go live, even when there's nobody watching yet, I know somebody will come by and watch it later, but I'm so much better at concentrating when I know everything I do is being recorded, because I'd much rather turn on TV and watch a show while I'm doing it, but it takes so much longer to get anything done. Come back here. And I wanted to show everybody how really quick of a project this is. If you're in need of something quickly for a baby shower or a wedding shower or a Mother's Day gift, something that you weren't planning ahead real far, this is an awesome little bag. Okay. So those are marked. Centers. I marked the centers on the outer pieces already, so I just need to mark the centers on these puppies, and I'll start sewing the zipper on. This is mulberry, I think. Such a pretty color. I really like mulberry. And this is not from Tulip Bee. Tulip Bees is a little thicker. This is Polytech from Indo Love Creation. I'm remembering. I don't necessarily like one or the other, but they carry different colors, and again, they're great for the inside of the bag. Okay, front of my bag, I want to make sure that the zipper is going this direction, so it will open this way and close that way. So I'm going to turn that over. And tape it down. I like the tape from the middle marking point out. And I'm going to take this piece of tape off the back and put a lining piece right side down. And this one, my linings are always bigger. I don't really know why, but they seem to be bigger on the same amount on each side. So I've been using the templates to cut. I have some acrylic templates. I was thinking I should measure them against the cardstock templates, you know, the paper templates that you print out from the pattern. See if everything matches, because they're always larger. Unless the seam allowance is different. She updated the pattern, I was just noting when I went to get the link. And I wonder if she changed seam allowances or something. I don't know. It turns out just fine. So this, again, I can only do a 1/4 inch because of my foot. So 1/4 inch it is. Move that zipper out of the way, so make a big bulge trying to get around that. Okay, so this top stitch, traditionally, you would bring both of them back behind, you know, the zipper would be all on its own up here, and then you would top stitch along here. And then that would end up having both the lining and the top stitched down. But this one, you're not going to do that with the lining. So you're going to lay that zipper down and press this against it. So when you top stitch, the part of the zipper and the seam is going to be under that top stitch. So this is a little hard to do. And I find sometimes there's just not enough of pressing you can do. You just got to start sewing and press as you go. And these seams right here are a bit thick. So I'm going to have this little thing to help me get up over it, and this to help me not to mess it up once I pass it. I'll show you. This is low enough now. I'm uncomfortable doing a top stitch with it. We'll use that later. Nice full bobbin. Alright. And top stitch. And just start. Zipper. It's so thick. So I'm going to use this, lift my foot so that it sits higher. Therefore, it will go over that really thick piece and not even know it. So then it doesn't need that, but I'm going to put this now. I have this piece of vinyl. I'm going to put that under the foot so that as it's going down, it doesn't chew up the fabric behind it. Kind of drags this along, which is fine. That's better than chewing up that vinyl. Okay. Same thing. Lift the foot so it doesn't even notice it's going over something big. So, finished top here is this sits down nice and flat, and this is not hooked. It's not stitched down, but it's just fine. As long as it doesn't get in your zipper when you're trying to open and close. It's all good. All good. I'm just going to clip this down here to keep it out of our way while we work on the other side. And we're going to do the same thing. So, the right side of the zipper is down, the right side of the top of the other one. And I'm going to look at those center marks, but really I want the sides to match up more importantly than the centers to match up. is. I would just go with the centers. So much easier sometimes. Okay. Okay, that's down. Same thing, take off the tape and put the lining right side down on top of the back side of the tape. Zipper tape, the back side of the zipper tape. Oh, hey there. Thank you. All right, so same thing, I'm going to stitch down at a 1/4 inch on the whole zipper. Truth be told, it's kind of a color I like, so I tend to have clothes and bags in the same colors. This zipper. Okay, so same thing. I'm not even going to pull that lining out. I'm just going to fold this up and press it. Get it ready for the top stitch. So now we just sew them together. It's amazingly easy. So we're going to pull the lining. The linings together right there, and the exterior together here, and just start clipping them. So this is where it comes in extremely handy that these aren't sewn back here, because then you'd be trying to do that. But because we did not sew them down with the top stitch, they're so much easier to handle. So you want to make sure these pieces get clipped together right at the same spot so that they look good when you're done sewing. And there's a couple other places that you want everything to match. For instance, down here. Those and once you have those spots all clipped, then you can clip around the rest. But we are going to leave approximately a 4-inch hole in the bottom of the lining. And I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I'd much rather mark a hole than guess. But the last time I did 4 inches, it was pretty tight. I'm going to try 4.5. And I didn't like where those were. I also want it to be centered. Picky, picky. Also, keep in mind, you're going to start here, sew around, and then stop there. So all your clips should be going same direction if you want. If you like pulling them off either way, then it doesn't matter. But I like mine to be facing up because I think they slide off easier because I can just press that. It's really so much easier than it's making it seem. They're just not matching up perfectly. So I came on a little earlier tonight. Tried to get you earlier. Now when you're stitching, most patterns will tell you that when you get to the lining to stitch it a little bit bigger seam allowance, usually by about 1/8 of an inch. And that is so that your lining will not be, you won't have excess lining. It'll be just a tad smaller than the exterior. Therefore, it will fit in to the exterior nicely. So, whatever your seam allowance here, so your lining a little bit bigger. Did I turn that off? Okay. Okay. Oh. No worries. Okay, I'm going to start at this line. It's not regular stitch. And pull it over to the other side. Pull at that. I forgot I was starting with the lining. It needs to be bigger. After that whole spiel. Okay. Bigger seam allowance. This is where you are doing the smaller seam allowance. All right. And you make sure that you backstitch at both of these spots too, because you're going to be putting a lot of pressure on those spots when you're turning the bag. Okay, so without cutting these strings, we're going to leave those strings. You also should have left this open. Now I got to reach in and try and open my zipper. I can find it. Where is it? Down here. Oh, no. All right. Okay, So now we're going to sew up these corners. No, I'm going to trim around here. So we don't trim where there's an opening and there's just not enough here to trim. So we're going to trim everywhere else. And I usually leave a little bit at the end of each one so that when I'm doing the corners, I have something to grab onto. So I will show you. Starts here, not right here, but a little ways up, and just trim to about 1/8 of an inch all the way around, minus a little bit at the corners. All right. Now we do the corners. We just pull those together. And this is where, if I have a little bit of something to grab, I can open these seams. I think some people trim all the way and then nest the seams so they have one going one way and one going the other. I prefer to open them. You do whatever you prefer. But if you're going to open them, definitely leave yourself a little bit of grabbing space there on your trim. And then each one, I'm just going to sew that up. And this is a little bit smaller seam allowance, so there's not really anything to trim after you sew it. No room to trim, I should say. So then I just trim off those little threads that were holding the corner together. And there you have it. And I might as well cook these little things, melt them down. Since I'm not doing anything else with that. This side. So Dee Dee, is my lighting okay? I have a ring up there to try and help with that. I mentioned at the beginning I do have new mics, but I haven't read through the instructions yet on how to link them. It's one thing to link to your phone, it's another thing to webcam. So hopefully I'll have that soon. I did find some video editing software that was free that looked pretty easy to work with. So I have a mail opening that I did today that I'm going to try and edit out a few things and see if I can make it prettier. good. Okay. And the sound, am I still muffled? I noticed that I think I almost talk to myself sometimes, especially when there's nobody there. I know that somebody will watch it later, so I'm trying to explain things, but I just don't talk very loud. So same thing on this lining, whatever the seam allowance was here, you're going to make this 1/8 of an inch more. So it ends up being a smaller piece inside. A little muffled, but yeah, I know. Hopefully the mic will take care of that. Okay. And this one, because it's a little bit bigger, I am going to trim it because I can. One more. Believe it or not, this thing is almost done. Oh, see, this one's going to be a problem because I did 2 stitches there. I'm just going to undo those stitches real quick. It's not worth it. So I'm going to nest these like other people do. Just push one way and then the other. Come back here. It'll be fine. It's inside of the bag. You can't even tell anyway. Like I said, some people do that on all of them. It will be fine. And singe. Right. And this is where we pull it all through. I have to say, this hole is just not very big. So as with a lot of turning, pushing works almost better than pulling. Sometimes you have to get it started. I do like the 4.5 inch opening because I can actually get my hand in there. The 4 inch just wasn't enough for my hand. And that's so much easier, but I can get all the way in there. And these corners where the zipper tape is, I have to pull those up. Perfect. I even found a little screwdriver flathead helps to pull that up. Okay. And before I shove that in, I'm going to my opening, pull these sides together, clip them right at where the stitching stops. Stitch it as close to the edge as possible, but make sure you get it all. Close it that hole. Poofy. That's it. Well, this is that dragonfly stuff that I had printed. It's a little saturated for me, but I figured I better use it. It's still pretty, just not what I was expecting. And then, of course, the glittery. Let's see that. So this one is a little, it's not as structured as some I've had, but, you know, all you have to do is add a little bit of interfacing. You can, those front and back pieces, if you want it a little more stable, I guess, you could add the self-adhesive foam so it would be a little stiffer, but I think it will hold things just fine. Okay, so question is, I have a couple more of the same thing to make because I don't do anything, in ones, not anything that's simple. Should I sew up another one? I'm going to sew up another one, whether I do it live or not, so I might as well just stay live, right? So I have 3 options. This one, which I just couldn't find a side vinyl that I liked, so I'm going to try this one, just all one piece. I think I'll do this one. Yeah, but this one is going to be, this one has a thicker interior, so it might stand up a little more, and this one is actually pretty thin on the sides. So let's do this one. But I cut up one of all the fabrics that I got, so this one's ready to go. And isn't this is that velvety, marbly velvet that's going to go on the sides. I like it. And then I also cut up this one, which I'm going to put the brown on the side. And this one's going to get antique brass, hardware. So I'll do those later. And I did this one last night. This is also one of those fabrics I had printed up, but I wanted it to match the that last bag I made, the Mr. Heckles. So they're so pretty. All right. So I don't have to sew together the top pieces, which is kind of weird. But I am going to have to put on the top piece, so I'm going to mark these centers. I do too. I like the antique look, but I find that I rarely use colors that the antique works with. So it's almost like I'm excited when I find one. Oh, the antique will work with this. I'm going to do some more of the wax canvas slings. I got permission from that pattern maker to do the sandhill sling, and wax canvas often will matches with the antique gold or brass, however you want to say it. Okay, I'm gonna put my name tag on there or there. It's going to be right over a flower. Either way, we'll do this one. Look at this one. Pink zipper tape on black with a pink zipper pull. It will be very pink. How many bags do I have finished? And waiting for new owners? Too many to count. But I have a lot left over from the shows that I did in November. And then I've just been making bags since then. we'll see after May 3rd if there's, I don't know, there's a farmer's market in town. They're trying to see if I'll do. But I don't know. That's a lot of, I know what it takes to sell at those things, and you got to have a good stock all the time. And I found it surprising how many of the purses, purse size things, mid-size purses that I sold. And that's mostly what I've been making. Not necessarily the same ones, but some of the same ones. Yeah, just that so far the May 3rd one. Sorry, I don't know if you asked that question before I said it or I forgot again. Oddly enough, Robbie's going to be here that weekend, and it's his birthday. We're thinking along the same lines, yes. Gotta stabilize the back. I don't know. At some point, there should be something thick enough that I don't have to stabilize the back, but I don't know if there ever will be because I just feel like I need to. I think, can you hear Noah? I played back one of my other lives and I heard him in the other room. So if you heard him asking why, he's just playing a video game. That's so pretty. Pardon me. I'm going to just go say something. Okay. All better. Championship. Are you talking about basketball? Or is there another sport? We're kind of football only people, although he does watch a little bit of basketball, but not because he's likes to watch basketball, but because he likes to watch Boise State. I don't know if I can say that. Okay. Hello, Brady. Okay. Yeah, we're going to put these on. Yeah, no, I don't know what happened between high school and grown-uphood, but I can't forget to put my zipper pull on. I can't stand basketball. Mostly when I moved to this area, it is such a big deal here. I'm just sick of it. I don't care about kids playing. I don't care about adults playing, college, pro. I hate it. I hate it when it's on the TV. It's like nails on a chalkboard if there's a basketball game on. And I played basketball, but I can't stand it. There are so many other sports I could watch before that. Okay, same thing, little tab. I'm going to put a clip on either side. Wow. And sink this into there. I wonder if I should switch my thread color. I kind of feel like this is so pink that I should be using black. I like that idea. I'll do that. UFC. That's not something that we watch either. I don't. If other people don't watch basketball, that's totally cool. Just don't do it if I'm in the house, or don't make me do it. You know, Jerry, he watched sports all the time, but for the last few years, if they would come over, I'd be like, no basketball. I can't handle it. It just instantly would make me mad. I don't know what it was about basketball. Oh, shouldn't be like that. Well, that and moms on Facebook posting pictures of their kids in basketball games. Pretty much any sport games. They're so often, you can't tell what's going on. And I understand moms wanting to post pictures of their kids. I'm totally all for that. I just get tired of the basketball ones. Please stop. I don't think I've ever actually watched UFC anything. I might not like that either. I don't know. Definitely probably wouldn't be a fan of the girls. I don't know. But I do like some of at least one of the girls that came out of it. Started acting. It's crooked. Grr. Okay, mark the centers of these. Wrestling is interesting, but I don't understand it very well, so it's not anything I ever watched while I was in high school. And I don't have anything against it, I just don't understand it very well. Sometimes it's hard to watch those sporting activities when you don't know the rules. And but isn't UFC kind of fake stuff? It's not really wrestling, is it? Oh wait, UFC, is that Ultimate Fighting? So those are real? Which one's the real stuff? Because I like the one where they mix it up. They've got some like kickboxing and wrestling all in one. And that's real, not the fake stuff. Yes. So I asked quite a few questions. I'm guessing that's the real stuff, right? UFC, okay. Okay. Hard for me to watch. Well, see, I was in martial arts, so I kind of like that too. But I don't have anybody else around me that is into it, so if it ends up on the TV, it's because I was channel surfing. Mixed martial arts, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna mark the centers of these. All right, zipper going this way, opens this way, closes that way. Therefore, I want it going across the top like this. I'm gonna turn it over. Let's stick it down. Were we talking personal snack? The comment about moms posting their kids' basketball stuff. I don't know if I'm going to delete them. The thing is there's so much I can't do until I have a certain amount of videos and a certain amount of hours watched and a certain amount of subscribers, that until I have some of that in excess, I don't really like Facebook. I would be happy if I didn't have to be on Facebook at all, because so much of Facebook is advertisements. I'll see posts from friends days after they posted it. It seems so wasteful. I hate it. But it's one of those necessary evils. Yeah, I don't know if anybody I would know here would watch them. And honestly, any family member that happens to see this and knows that I don't like to watch basketball, I'm pretty okay with that. Because then maybe they won't make me watch it. But see, Jerry was the only one in the family that really watched sports. I think we go when we still came for like Thanksgiving and stuff. Sometimes we'd go over to Dad's and watch a football game, but he wasn't really into it. He would put it on for us. And Robbie doesn't care about sports. Anna doesn't care about sports. Mom really doesn't care about sports. I guess Uncle Ron and Uncle Mark, but I just don't spend a lot of time with them. If I'm around them, it's because we've got other things to do or talk about. Oh, this one's looking pretty cool. It looks so snazzy. Right, Uncle's into golf. Yeah. Thankfully, that was one Jerry didn't watch much. I only had to watch that when I'd go over to Grandma and Grandpa's. I don't even know what an open is. I know so little about golf. Well, I know some of the rules of playing, but not professional golf. It's not centered. I'm not happy with that. And other tournaments. Hey, isn't there a new season of Bosch out or coming out? That was one of your shows, right? I'm live. Say hi to Dee Dee. Oh, he's already gone. Oh, that's fast. Okay, let's close it. Oh, in Prime. You don't have that either? Oh, I see. They had 3 seasons. Freebie. Huh. Well, it'll eventually go there, right? To Freebie. Prime isn't one of those that. Yeah, but Prime is Amazon and Freebie is Amazon. So for right now, they're showing it on Prime, but a lot of times, no, I guess that's not true, huh? They have other shows on Prime that go to Freebie, but if it's their show, it probably stays in their repertoire. I know. You can come over here. Wait, couldn't you go to your mom's too? Right. Mhm. So I feel a little bad. I'm not giving you any instructions, but I gave all the instructions for the first one. I feel like I'm just repeating. I'm kind of excited to see how this one turns out. It looks really cool. I wasn't expecting it to be that cool. Yeah. So I got another subscriber. Was that your mom? Thread. And we're slowly lining at a bigger seam allowance than. Oh, I forgot the zipper again. Ugh. The lining gets a bigger seam allowance than the other part. Okay. I can only see numbers. I don't know who they are. So it's I just don't know who else. I suppose it could be Sarah, Andrew Sarah. I just haven't told anybody else since my initial telling my brothers. But you know what? Robbie works with family members, so one of them might have done it. I haven't sent out my email yet. I don't know. I just feel like I need to have one good video on there before I send that out. So maybe I'll look at this mail opening. I got it uploaded to Dropbox, so I can get to it on my computer, my laptop, and see about doing some quick editing. And I gotta figure out my mics. Send your email. Ugh. Okay, I'll work on it tonight. Since it's not the weekend, I feel like the weekend, so many people would miss things. I'll make sure you're included in the email. Mm-hmm. Did you happen to watch the cutout video for the bottle up sling? You're probably getting oh no, that's okay. I was just curious what you thought of the fabrics. I'm kind of excited to sew that one up too. I'm struggling with the pictures that they, the thumbnails that they want me to put on there. I can't do anything. Every picture I take is too big of a file. Like the one for this thing, I'll change it when I'm done because I can put a real picture up there, which I don't get. But the thumbnail has to be under a certain size, so I take a picture and then I reduce it and it just looks all fuzzy. I need to figure that out. There's got to be a better way to take a smaller picture without it being so grainy. Come on. Ugh. What's interesting is I turn bags all the time, and they're usually bigger bags, and I turn them through like a pocket on the inside, and they're easier to turn than this thing. Ugh. Probably because the hole's so tiny. I usually won't make a bag without a zipper pocket because I don't like having to have that sewn seam in the bottom. But this is meant to be a simple bag. And if I start putting zipper pockets in it, it takes a lot more time to make it. So actually, I'm gonna sew this one closed later because I don't want. Ooh, those colors are super. How are they looking on your end? Because on my tablet it looks like super bright and you can't hardly see anything because it's so bright. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want this bottom seam to be black, so I'll do that later. But I can get everything else punched out. I think it looks pretty cool. See, I didn't dress to match this bag. I tend to pick these colors. Oh goodness. Well, I think it's time for me to go and you to go to bed. And to thank everybody who, hey, it says there's 4 people on. There's some people watching. Thanks for watching. This is an awesome bag, and if you want to make it, I would suggest watching the first half of the video because I made this one and I gave you all the instructions. This one, it was more ASMR. I was just sewing away, and I didn't do the sides on this, and it worked out just fine. It's really pretty. All right, well, have a good night. Who's there? Yeah, it's okay. They're allowed to watch without saying anything. Now I can go watch TV while making some more and take twice as long. So it's great. Well, you know, some people do the ASMR videos. It's like they'll label them that. So they sew, they don't talk, they don't explain anything, they just sew. I could do that. Thanks for chatting with me, and I'll be back later. Oh, how do I end this? I have to go up here. Good night. Oh, now good night.